Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 4. It's titled Rule Breaker and Love Makers. Whatever. Let's get started. Okay, first couple is Rick and Radine. It's still Thanksgiving at Radine's father's house. Ramona, Rick's best friend slash roommate, she shows up and she brings a green bean casserole. They all sit down to eat, and Kay is on the phone video chatting. Rick says he doesn't understand Kay's and Radine's relationship. I don't know what he doesn't understand. She told him that Radine told Rick that Kay is her girlfriend. He knows that they've been intimate in the slammer together. And what else? What else can she tell Rick about this girl? She's my girlfriend. We've been intimate. So I don't understand what he doesn't understand. And she knows the girl, he knows the girl is bisexual, so what is his problem? I'm confused that he's confused. Why is he confused about the relationship that they're having? And the girl calls every day. Every single day, Kay calls. She probably even call more than that. She probably call 5 times a day, for all we know. So she gets off the phone with Kay, and Ramona asks Radine, "Who is Kay?" And Radine tells her that Kay is my girlfriend. And Ramona is shocked. She didn't know Radine was bisexual, and she didn't know Radine had a girlfriend. So she's shocked. So Radine tells the whole table that she said she's gay. And her father says, "You're bisexual. You're not gay, you're bisexual." And Radine says, "Same thing." She don't even know what she is. So her father said he walked in on her at the clubhouse and caught Radine with 2 other girls. I guess this is when she was younger, maybe when she was a teenager, who knows. So Ramona she ate very quickly, and then she left out. She said, "I don't want no part of this," and she left. Then Radine and Rick, they leave. With Radine driving. What is up with these inmates getting out and driving the very first day they get out? What's wrong with them? As soon as they get out, they break the law? They don't have license. What the hell? Why are they driving? I don't get it. I don't understand why you get out of jail and you're so happy to be out of jail, but you break the law the very first day you get out of jail by driving without a license. I don't understand that. So anyway, they get to Rick's house, and Rick shows her around. And they're laying on the bed, and Rick is kissing her. And then he gets up and kicks the cameraman and the producer out of the room. So Rick said he had sex with 300 women. So around Radine is 301 women. So the next morning, Radine and Rick, they're laying in bed, and she pushes his face away and told him he has morning breath. She also told him that last night was great. So I guess he wasn't lying when he said he's a good lover, and he pulled out his junk and showed it to us that, I got the equipment and I'm good at it. He tells the camera that sex with Radine was fire. So Rick goes downstairs and he kisses the dog. And he allows the dog to kiss him in the mouth. Meanwhile, Radine is upstairs. She's talking to the camera, and she tells the camera that she feels more for Kay than she does for Rick. Even though the sex was great, she feels more for Kay than she does for Rick. Radine says she is head over heels in love with Kay. Then Radine goes downstairs, and Rick made her coffee. And she tells him that the coffee is prison is better than the coffee that he gave her. Well, mosey on back down to the prison and get you some coffee then. Why don't you do that, Radine? All right, next. They're on their way back to Radine's father's house. And Kay calls. Again, Kay calls every day or 5 times a day. I don't know. I'm tired of her calling, though. I know Rick is tired of it. So am I. So they talk for a little while. Radine and Kay, they talk on the phone for a little while. And then when she gets off the phone with Kay, she asks Rick how does he feel when she talks to Kay. And he said he feels weird. Radine says in her confessional that she didn't want to lose Rick. That's why she didn't tell Rick about Kay when she was in the slammer. In his confessional, Rick says he feels betrayed. And he said he needs to know if him and her are forever. Yeah, y'all can be forever if Kay's in the picture. She told you that already. What he needs to do is he needs to decide if he is going to stay in this triangle relationship. That's all. You need to say yay or nay. And the ball is in his court. Poor baby, he looks so hurt. He looks so hurt. Okay, we're done with him. With Radine and Rick. Next, it's Indy and Harry. We see Indy and her daughter at Lydia's house. Indy's daughter asks Indy, "Where is Poppy Daddy?" Indy tells her, I don't know. He didn't come home last night. He hasn't called her. He stayed out all night. Before the last episode, she dropped him off at Johnny's house, and he was supposed to call, text, come back home. He never did. And he's violating his parole. He's supposed to sleep at his sister Lydia's house. There we go. These inmates, they get out of jail and they break the rules right off the bat. Right off the bat. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why can't they live by the rules? They're simple rules. Come home by 10. Oh, Lord. In her confessional, she said she has no idea where Harry is. She said she dropped him off at John's house, and since then, she hasn't seen him and he hasn't called or texted. Indy thinks he's with he's with women and he's partying. So around 10 a.m., Harry walks in, all nonchalant like nothing's happened, and tries to kiss Indy, but she's not having any of it. She's giving him the business about not coming home and not calling her. And he says, "So what, are you my PO now?" The nerve! This is your fiancé. You didn't come home last night. She's supposed to just let it slide? Is he crazy? Oh, yeah. He basically tells her if she keeps questioning him, he won't marry her. So she tells him he's different from when he was in prison to when he got into the halfway house. I mean, he got in the halfway house, starts cheating on her. He changed. She said, "So when you got into the halfway house, you cheated on me." And you know what he said to her? He said, "So what?" Oh my gosh. I think Harry wants Indy to dump him, but he doesn't want to lose her unconditional love, the unconditional love she has for him. He doesn't want to lose that because he has that with no one else. So he doesn't want a commitment to her, but he doesn't want to lose her unconditional love. I think that's what he's struggling with. I think that's what's going on with Mr. Harry. So Harry's family is coming over. The mother and the sister, they're gonna redo release night since Harry effed it up for them. They're gonna do a redo, and Indy's gonna take the kids out so he'll have some alone time with his family. So after Indy leaves with the kids, Harry and his mother and sisters, they sit down and they eat, and he apologizes to his family for not coming home. I couldn't believe he apologized, but thank God he did. That's great. So they talk about Indy and her moving to Ohio. They talk about how hard it was for them when he went to prison. And Harry really doesn't like that Magongo food. He barely ate it, and he's right. He doesn't like it because if he liked it, he would have dug in and ate the whole thing. He barely picked at it. So Harry takes his mother into the room and he talks to her one on one. And she starts talking about Indy. She thinks Indy is going to trap him. And she might be right. Indy might try and get pregnant and trap Harry. Why she would do that, I don't know. But in her mind, they are spiritually wed. That's her spiritual husband. So if she gets pregnant for him, then she gets pregnant for him. They're going to have a spiritual baby. Whatever. So the mother thinks, Harry's mom thinks, that Indy may trap him. And that may just happen. But Harry don't want to talk about that. Harry gets mad at his mother, and apparently the stepmother was abusive to him and his sisters. Harry told his mother that he felt abandoned by her because she left them with this abusive man. Apparently she worked hours, and while she was working, they were home with this abusive man, and the guy abused them. So they talked about it, they hugged, they cried. It was very emotional. Very emotional. She apologized to him, and it was very emotional. So the next scene is Harry, Indy, and her daughter. They're in the car going to get Harry's eyes checked, and then Indy wants to go see a psychic. So they're discussing this psychic, and all of a sudden, cops pull them over. And I think that the producers set that up because, okay, let's see. Harry is driving without a license, of course, breaking the law, just got out of jail, breaking the law. And he's driving like this, right? And then the camera people are behind, TLC camera people are behind him because we can see the car. We can see Harry's car. Then all of a sudden, the TLC people, they must have turned their camera this way because all of a sudden we see a cop car right here by Harry. And then he veers over directly. The TLC people slowed down so that the cop could veer in between them and Harry's car, and then he pulled Harry over. So I think TLC set that up. I don't know if that cop was real, an actor, or what, but I think they set that up because they turned the camera showing us the cop on the side of Harry, and then they slowed down so that the cop could get in behind Harry and pull them over. So I think it was set up by TLC. I think so. So anyway, when the cops said they pulled Harry over because he was going below the speed limit, that's suspect too. You're gonna pull him over because he's going below the speed limit? Anywho, Harry tells the cop right off the bat, look, I just got out of jail and I don't have a license. And the cop was like, so you're driving without a license? Harry's like, yes, I'm driving because he's pointing to Indy. She's not feeling well, so I'm driving. So the cops take their license. Well, he takes Harry's ID, I think, and takes, what's her name? Indy's license, and he runs a check. And Harry is worried that when the police run a check, it's going to come saying that he's a felon. But anyway, the police comes back to the car, hands them their IDs, and made Indy switch seats with Harry because Harry doesn't have a license. He can't be driving. And he gave Harry a ticket. He has to appear in court. And that was that. He is very, very lucky. And then Harry feels like he was freer in prison. He said he felt freer in prison. How did you feel freer in prison? Were you driving a car when you were in prison? Did you get a chicken sandwich when you were in prison? Did you sleep in a nice comfy bed when you were in prison? Did you stay out after 10 o'clock hanging out with your fellas drinking and smoking weed when you were in prison? How do you feel like you were in prison? You're breaking all the rules. How do you feel like you know that you were, prison was better? You didn't have that many rules in you know what, Harry? Why don't you just go on back to prison then? Since there's too many rules out here in the free world for you, go back to prison. I'm done with Harry and Indy. Next, it's Kayla and Mon Martell. I keep wanting to call him Martel. Martell. Kayla and Martell. Okay, Kayla meet up with Martell's mother. And they talk about how they worked hard together to get through Martell's prison sentence. They talk about Kayla losing both of her parents. Kayla tells Martell's mother that her family doesn't know about Martell. And how is that? How can they not know? I guess she's talking about her brothers. How can they not know? For 13 years, she's dating this criminal that's behind bars and they don't know? So Kayla asks Martell's mother if do she think she have to worry about other girls? And the mother tells Kayla that she has nothing to worry about. But in her confessional, well, to the camera, she tells the camera that Martell's ex-girlfriends are going to approach him. And she don't know if he's going to be faithful or not. The next scene, we see Kayla. She is on her way to pick up Martell from the halfway house, and she's late. This is your man. You haven't been with for 13 years, and you're late picking him up from the halfway house? I'm pretty sure you knew when he was getting out. Why are you late picking him up? I don't like that. You know? Why is she late picking him up? I'd have been there an hour early, sitting there waiting for him to come out, if that was my man. But she's late, and she's driving fast, almost got into an accident, trying to rush to come pick him up. I don't understand that. She knew he was only going to be in there for 6 weeks. So on her calendar, didn't she mark it out and say, okay, I'm picking him up at this day, at this time, but I'm going to leave an hour earlier or whatever. How is she late picking him up? That would have pissed me off. I would have been pissed. If I was him and she's late picking me up from the halfway house, I'd have been pissed. Anywho, she picks him up and they drive back to the apartment. She has a 2-bedroom apartment that she rented for them. And she's showing him around the apartment. And the stove is dirty. And he mentions it. He said, when was the last time you cooked? She said, yesterday. And he said, and you didn't clean the stove? And she's pissed that he said that. And I agree with him. Why didn't you clean the stove after you cook? And he's coming to the house for the first time. You want to show him a clean house. Why would you want to show him a dirty house? So I agree with him. Why didn't you clean the stove? She claimed, oh, I was too tired. You're too tired to get a damp sponge and wipe off the crumbs or the powder or whatever you left on the stove? That takes not even 2 minutes to do. So apparently she had clothes either on top of the washer and dryer, or she just had clothes sitting somewhere. And he said, so you need to do laundry too, don't you? And she got pissed. She said, I will slap the shit out of you. Don't what did you say? Don't disrespect me. I'll slap the shit out of you. It's what she says to him. I'm like, how did it go from him telling you that you need to clean the stove and do laundry to you'll smack the shit out of him? I don't get that. How did it go from that to that? She is nuts. She's totally nuts. This man just got out of prison. He mentioned you doing the laundry and cleaning off the stove, and you want to smack the shit out of him now? So he gets mad, and I don't blame him. They start to argue. He gets mad because she said she's going to slap the shit out of him, and they start to argue. And I'm totally on his side. She figures because he's been in prison that he doesn't mind coming to a filthy apartment or a messy apartment. No. I bet you the prison is clean, because who's cleaning the prison? They don't have maid service coming into the prison. So I'm pretty sure the inmates have to clean the prison. I'm pretty sure they have to mop, sweep, dust, clean toilets, clean showers, clean the lunchroom, wipe off tables. They probably have to clean the utensils and stuff. They have to clean up after themselves because they don't have maid service coming in cleaning, do they? So I'm pretty sure he's 13 years, he was in prison cleaning. So he wants to come home to a clean house. Why wouldn't he want to come home to a clean house? Why would she want him to come home to a dirty house? So she's pissed. They're going at it. She talking about she's going to slap the shit out of him for disrespecting her. So he goes outside and he calls someone to come pick him up, and I don't blame him one bit. He needs to leave that situation because she's getting violent, telling him she's gonna slap the shit out of him. He just got out of prison. All she can do is call. She can call 911 and said, he hit me or he did this or he threatened me or whatever, and he's going right back to jail. So he took himself out of that situation, and I'm glad he did. He went outside. He called somebody to come pick him up. Thank God he did that. But then she follows him outside, talking about, why did you disrespect me? Don't you understand you disrespect me? Starting to argue with him again. And he said, yo, man, I'm leaving. My friend coming to pick me up. I don't want none of this. And so she goes back into the apartment. She gets on the phone. She calls her niece. And she's dumb. She's really, really dumb. She's in Atlanta all by herself. No friends, no family. All she has is him. And she starts a fight with him because he told her to clean up, do laundry and clean off the stove. She starts a fight with him, gets violent with him, talking about she's going to slap the shit out of him. And now he's gone. His friend picked him up. He's gone. And she's in the apartment all by herself. And she knows no one there in Atlanta, Georgia. His mother and his niece. But they're not close to her. She did that to herself. She did that to herself. The first night he's out of jail that they can spend together in the apartment. All she should have done was said, yeah, I got to clean up. Why don't you go relax? I'll order some food and I'll clean up. That's all she had to say. That's all she had to do. But no, she's telling me she's going to slap the shit out of him for disrespecting her. Wow. I'm not on her side at all. She should have cleaned that apartment. Yeah, she should have cleaned up. How long was it to take clothes and put in the washer? How long does that take to do? Or if she had to fold clothes up, fold the damn clothes up. It's just her by herself. It's not like she has a roommate. It's not like she has kids running around that she has to clean up after. She's cleaning up after one person, herself. Why was the apartment messy? Anyway, that's the end of what's their name? Martell and what the hell was it? What's her name? Kayla. That's the end of them. Next couple is Taylor and Chance. So they're having pizza, and Taylor asks Bobby if she wants pizza. Bobby says no, she don't want no pizza, and she closes the door to her room. So Taylor says Bobby doesn't leave her room, so she's not interacting with Chance, and it's not good. I don't blame Bobby. I wouldn't want to interact with Chance either, because he wants to put her out the house, and he's trying to act like she doesn't contribute, and he's being mean, and then she's gonna feel like a third wheel. So I don't blame her for staying in her room. I'll do the same thing. She knows Chance doesn't like her. Why would she want to be around someone who doesn't like her? But in the meantime, Taylor and Chance, they're yelling, and Chance is cussing about pizza in front of the kids. And then Chance goes off to take a shower, and Taylor's upset that they're arguing and cussing, and he's cussing in front of her girls. So Bobby comes out of the room, and she talks to Taylor, and she kind of comforts her. And I think we need to kick Chance out of that apartment, out of the house. He's always irritated. He always wants to fight and argue and bicker about nothing. He's just too much. We don't like him. He needs to go. So the next scene, we see Taylor and Chance, and they're cuddling on an air mattress, and she looks at his prison papers, and she sees a lot of women phone numbers that he kept. And Chance says he has 38 female cousins. He's trying to make a joke. That's just not funny. That's not funny at all. Anyway, he gets annoyed because she's asking about all these women phone numbers that he still have. And he starts talking a whole bunch of crap. He's just talking a whole bunch of crap. He told her that he could have dated women who didn't have kids and didn't have a bunch of bills. Then why don't you? Why don't you? Where are these women? Go date them. He said he was talking to women all over the country. Good for you. Good for you. She told him he sounds like a hoe. And he does. Then he flips the script on her and start talking about her baby daddy that died. She has pictures of him on her Facebook and pictures of him in the house. And Chance doesn't like that. Why not? That's the picture for her baby, for her child. She wants to be able to show these pictures to her child. Chance don't understand why she doesn't have his pictures in the house and his picture on her Facebook. Because you're temporary. You're going to be gone soon, Chance. Believe that. You're going to be gone soon. At least she's not. He's mad that she has her dead baby daddy's picture in her house and don't have his. But at least she's not talking. He's thinking that that's the same thing as him talking to all these women all over the country. That's not the same thing. That's something totally different. Chance is an ass, and he needs to be kicked out of the house. He needs to go his separate ways. Okay, that's the end of Chance and Taylor. Now on to Kevin, Tiffany, and Curtis. Kevin is home, and it looks like he's packing. His mother, Darla, comes over. So apparently his mom, Darla, is going to dog sit for him while he goes to spy on Tiffany, because she does not want him to pick her up, but he's going anyway. So he's going to go spy on her to see who is picking her up. I don't blame him. I would want to know too, I don't blame him. So he's going to go to the halfway house and spy on her. So the next scene, we see Curtis. Curtis is getting ready. He's getting all dolled up to go pick up Tiffany from the halfway house. He's nervous and excited. So we see Kevin. Kevin's mother does not want Kevin to go spy on Tiffany. She knows it's not going to be a good thing. But he's going to go anyway. So he's there, and he's at the halfway house. He steps out of his car, and he's waiting by his car. And it looks like 5 minutes after he gets there, Curtis gets there. Curtis pulls up, and Kevin is looking at Curtis like, oh, I know him. Is this the guy picking her up? I know him. So Kevin knows Curtis, or he's seen him around or whatever. So Tiffany comes out of the halfway house, and she walks right by Kevin. And Kevin goes, what's up, shorty? And she says hi and keeps on walking and goes over to Curtis's truck and put her stuff in Curtis's truck. So Kevin walks over to Curtis's truck and asks Tiffany if Curtis is her boo. He says, is this your boo now? And Tiffany ignores Kevin, and he goes back, and then she goes back into the halfway house to get the rest of her stuff. And for someone who's been in prison, she got a lot of crap. She got cartons, she got crates, she got boxes, she got a whole bunch of stuff. Where'd she get all this stuff from? So while Curtis is helping Tiffany put boxes and crates and her crap in his truck, Kevin and Curtis are fussing with each other back and forth. And Tiffany says in her confessional that Kevin has a reputation for being a ladies' man. I guess that's why she dumped him and decided to go with Curtis instead. Anyway, Curtis keeps telling Kevin to shut up, and Kevin tells him to come shut me up. And then he says, I wouldn't fight over that bitch anyway. That's what Kevin says. And he tells Curtis to take her. He doesn't need her. He said, take her, I don't need her. And then Curtis and Tiffany, they're sitting in the truck and they kiss. I guess that's just to rub that in Kevin's face. Then Kevin says, she's a hoe. So Curtis goes over to Kevin. Why? I don't know. Him and Tiffany are sitting in the truck and they kiss. Why not just drive off? Instead of drive off, Curtis gets out of the truck and goes over to Kevin and did like this. Oh, you're a third grader. You're short. You're tiny. You're a third grader. And then Kevin goes up to me and said, don't touch me. I'll knock your pee ass out. And he had a cigarette in one hand. So I don't know how he switched the cigarette from this hand to this hand and then made a fist and knocked him out. Knocked Curtis out. Next thing you know, we saw the producers running all over, running to Curtis to check on him. He went down like this. Boom. He went down. Ooh-wee. That was the end of Tiffany, Kevin, and Curtis. And that is the end of my review. I will be back next week with another review. Thank you so much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.